Hello, sketchbook heroes, sketchbook warriors. Welcome to our hangout. We're going to hang out. We are going to go with a little book. We'll share the book and we might do a drawing for the book. And then we're just going to just draw or paint. I think I have something from this art magazine. I might do the landscape on my own. No, I don't know. I'll take you step by step. But people who are here are just might be doing things on their own, or they might be following along. We have watercolor. So I'm going to be doing something in watercolor. Oh, because I want to. So a little bit of different format. We're just going to go free for a little more free form. So let me share my screen so you can see one of the books that I shared. It should be in, hopefully I can get it into the, description, into the description. Here we go, screen one. All right, here we go. That's not that book. Oh, I had it on my other screen. I was right. I'll move it over. Let me see. What happened to it? Lost the book. All right. Okay, why don't we just do it here? Why don't we go to our website? Because I know that's where it's at. Drawing taxes. Books, that's it. We had how to draw cool stuff. That was the last video. And then now we have this one, how to sketch and draw anything. Now notice how challenging that is. So this is a little more realistic in there, how to draw anything. That's actually a good one to just do on our own. If you want to do that on your own, you can see the style here, really sketch, but they know anatomy and proportions, which makes it this book really doesn't talk that much about anatomy and proportions. It talks about relationships here, core skills. And this drawing from life, nothing beats drawing from life. Gotta draw from life. So this link will be in the description for this book. Actually, I can put this in our chat as well right now. Oh, we got more people. All right. Somebody just came in. All right. Oh, somebody went away and then just came back. Awesome. Thought we lost some people. So I will be doing watercolor. I'll probably be doing everything in watercolor. I don't know. But this book is really good as far as just examples and I mean, it really is the practice. You gotta practice. It does talk about why draw, making pictures, visual communication, how important that is. Drawing is a thinking tool. It is a thinking tool. It really helps you think and just process stuff. Since I'm not good at drawing faces, I like drawing people from behind, like that sketch was just rolled by. All right, you're welcome. Yeah, you gotta see where you're at and then not and find your comfort zone and then step out of it. Say, okay, I've been hiding my hands. Now I gotta draw my hands. I gotta, don't be a I was an avoidist. I don't know, it's not called avoidist. You avoidant. All right, so don't be an avoidant. Sometimes it's good to avoid. You want to avoid accidents, right? No, so you got to learn to be a hero and a warrior. Sometimes say, okay, I've been avoiding this. I gotta face it. Sometimes you gotta face it and then take on that challenge. These drawings are really nice of materials. Yeah, this book really has actually some good stuff on value. Lenore, she's here. No, oh, yeah, Liana. Sorry, Liana. Liana, this has some good stuff on values. That's a really nice sketch. You can see how actually they do use value in their simple sketches. You can see some areas are lighter, some are darker. There were some actually really good examples. Let's see, first marks and just making marks. So it's a good book. I think I'll put it. Let me put it in the chat if I haven't already. There it is. It's in the chat. That's from my drive, so you should not have any problems. You see, making marks. There's some cross hatching and just even like warm ups, which I should have by next month. Yeah, we'll July. We'll go into July. It'll be July 3rd. Actually, July 3rd, I think, is the first Wednesday of the class. Warrior Wednesdays is what I actually trying to label it as. Drawing yourself. You don't have to draw yourself. You can just draw your shoes and your hands, which is really good. They always have a model. Start from an ideal detail. Start from an area of detail. And then just continue the drawing, look for edges. Yeah, it just gives you some tips, and that's just one process. You got to find your process. Drawing upside down is a really good exercise. Goes back to the Betty Edwards days of drawing on the left side of the brain. Even breaking things down, you can actually just it forces you to draw what you see, not what you think you see. A lot of times our brains fill in everything. You gotta learn to observe, learn to see, and that's what drawing really does for you. Which drawing did I like? I like this nose, the watercolor, some guitar players. Let me show you the drawing your home. So drawing what's around you, just get a sketchbook and draw portraits, people, yourself. It's almost like a Van Gogh style, like the hair and everything. Van Gogh drawing, Van Gogh. All right, so starting off with a circle shape for the head and the skull, you can see them drawing that shape. Seeing these parts, you can see this person come together. The big parts, the small parts, and then a beard. There it is. There's the face. Drawing rooms, form. Let me see which one. There was one that caught my eye. Here's a value study. You can see how they did it here. And they actually break it down over here, I think. Let me see. Yeah, you can see here. Here's how they did it. They scrubbed some charcoal, got some even shade over their paper, and then they used the eraser to bring out the lights and get the different values. Excuse me. And then worked in some other values into it. That's always fun to do. Really getting into the values. That icing that I talk about, I'm gonna do some color today. Let's see, what did maybe the first drawing I'll do. Yeah, the cover book. There was another here. I think I'll do the cover. I'll just go to the cover page. But there was another one that I liked. You can see the value here. This one, the values on this one really nice. So this one doesn't have any values, just the black and white. And then here you can see add the tones, the different tones really adds depth and adds another level. But you need to learn to see this and then see this. I also want to try a value study using gouache paint on ice. Yeah, gouache. Yeah, I haven't used gouache in a while. You can see this one. Oh yeah, I think it was one of these. Well, let me see. Yeah, gouache. Yeah, I had when I first in the illustration class I took, and we used gouache in it. I was always so careful with my work, my materials, trying to make them last. I think they would dry out before I got to using them all. Yeah, just figure studies. Notice, as somebody said about drawing faces and stuff, you don't have to. You can just get to this level, see? Just learn to see the shapes and not worry about the faces. You don't have to worry about the faces. This is a whole, and they're worrying about values and shapes and you know, something like that. Here, a little more face. But they look at here, shadows, shadow people. You don't have to draw the faces all the time. They're just sketches, and your sketchbook should be your safe place. You know, if you know, you don't have to share your sketchbook. It's just a sketchbook. It's a place to practice. It's a place to feel safe. This is one I kind of like this one. I'm gonna go with this one. We're just gonna go with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and yeah, this book is pretty good, and it does have some. Yeah, it has some good examples. We're gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with this one. If you want to draw along, you can draw along. I'm gonna sketch it and then paint it. All right, so I'm gonna go with this one. No eyes, don't have to worry about the eyes. So let me put this in the chat. I'll screenshot this. I don't know if you want it bigger or smaller, or if you want to, it's in the book. This is page 140, page 140. All right, let's just do it. Let's just do it now. So here we go. All right, get it going. And then I'll watercolor it. I'm gonna do watercolor. I haven't done watercolor. Have a This is our hangout. Feel free to draw whatever you'd like. This is watercolor paper. I don't know what the weight is or anything. I just know it is watercolor paper. I do see this oval shape. That's kind of like oval shape going this way. This whole actually it's it's like a bun. It's something. It's got like a hat. And then the head coming this way. The head kind of going this way. So I want it to be solid. So I know this is the skull, and then this is the face, and it kind of coming this way. And this is what I'm kind of getting, just to block it in. Then I've got the neck. Right. Now it's hard for you to see what I see in my head. So I see this oval shape, right? This oval shape, and then I see this other oval shape with the head in it. As just a starting point. And then it's got the neck coming down to here. So the neck. And now I can go ahead and start putting a little more detail. I'm gonna start with this part of the face and then work my way out. Because this is the important part. And zoom in. This is the important part of the head. Here we go. So this is like the little hair break. Then I know that I can sketch some stuff in. I know that the eyes are going to be in this area. The nose is going to be like in this area. The mouth is going to be like in this area right in there. See the placement. I can see the placement of everything. And then just go ahead and start putting it in. There's the forehead as it goes in, that eyebrow. And here's the bridge of the nose. And down there. Eye, there's going to be an eye there. See, I'm just doing the outline of the eye. The spacing, watching the spacing, and the other eye goes over here. The spacing is really important. How it all fits. And this comes with practice, right? Because a lot of times people put, or even myself, because I know you got to make the mistakes to learn from them. This is the mistake, doing the eyes too close. Got to watch the space right in here. Looks like there's like an eye space right in here. Even though it's a 3/4 view, the face is tilted, the eye's going to be there. I'm looking at the socket, and it goes around here, the socket, and here's the eye. I'm looking at the socket. This big shapes, I'm trying to get these big shapes in first. Then all the detail and everything else will kind of make itself in. There's the socket, there's the nose, the mouth. I'm just probably going to bring it up a little bit. It's going to be in there. Maybe even the cheek, bring the cheek out a little bit. I can break this mouth into parts. There's going to be the top lip, and and then the bottom lip, somewhere in there. The jaw, there's a jaw right in here. And this is a lot more advanced. So, we're really just hanging out. If this is too much, do the best you can, or you feel free to just draw on your own. You don't have to draw what we're drawing. It'd be good just to show what you're doing. Faces are challenging. Take on the challenge. Take on the challenge. It's been a challenging couple months. But here we are. We're back. We're back. Probably just once a month for now. And then when the weather cools down. We got to keep the practice, keep the practice, keep the faith. And here the ears right here attached. Then watching the spacing, I might need to bring this back a little bit. I'm looking at the spacing, how it all relates, the space between the eye and this cheekbone right here. There's a cheekbone right here, knowing the anatomy proportions. There's a cheekbone there, the space between here and the shadow, this whole shadow space. And then the ear. Seeing spaces takes a bit of time, especially when there's nothing there. There's the neck coming out. And here's the sternocleidomastoid. That's what that is right there, just down here to the sternum. That comes down to the middle of the sternum. And then here's the other side, the shadow side. Here's the clavicle. And then it goes up and over, kind of that shape. There we go. It's coming together, coming together. Let's zoom out a little bit. You can see it's coming there. I can see these angles. Bam, bam. And then look at it's going to be even bigger coming out to here. There's like a bump right in here, another bump, and actually it's straight. I'm gonna have to straighten this out right here. There's like a straight, I feel like a straight part of that. And if you look, you can actually see that straight line, and then he breaks it up. So he draws that straight line to give it that structure, and then he breaks it up. It breaks that line up. Whoever this artist is. Who is this artist? Does it say? It doesn't say. It's probably the book, whoever's book this is. And then she's got some kind of bonnet. See, that's where this breaks up. See, that bonnet breaks up that line. Even though that line is there, then it's broken up. Yeah, it's broken up. The detail breaks it up. But that structure's there. This line is there. And then it's broken up into little pieces, which makes it look like there's a lot of detail, but then you don't lose the structure, the solidness of this. See, I can clean this up right here too. Right in there. Erase. See that line? But it goes in and out. In and out. Right in there. Do the best you can. If you're drawing on your own, great. Faces are the most challenging thing to draw. Everything's hard if you don't know how. And faces, there's more you need to know as far as proportions and placement of stuff. And I'm getting close to just, there's a lot of stuff I do. I want to try to minimize my repetition. All right, I think I'm ready for the watercolor. I'm just going to go in. Well, I was thinking of going with the watercolor. I should break some of this stuff up. Some of these shapes. There's some of these shapes. There's like looks like the letter E backwards. I see the letter E, like three little parts, three little pigs, three little parts in there. And then another one right in here. The folds, they're folds on the hair, actually. There's two on this side, one, two. Not exactly that kind of shape on that side. And then here, oh, this is in shadow. And that hair, there's two in light on this side. One and a two. And another thing here. Then this side here has some light on it. A lot of shapes, a lot of shapes. Yeah, if I were to try to describe all these shapes, I'd be here all night. So that's why I break it down in the beginning class. I try to break it down. Don't always do a great job. I do the best I can. That's all you can do. Sometimes I go back and say, oh, I should have said this, should have done that. I know there some of the first ones I'm like, no wonder they had some people had trouble. And don't let your schooling get in the way of your learning. Mark Twain. All right, here we go. I'd like to actually just jump in here with washes and stuff. Here we go. Loose brush is good. And I'm not sure what color I'm going to use. Got this whole set of watercolors. I can make it in the blues or even just grays because there's really no color. And I can use that. I will do actually this one. I'm not sure. One of these landscapes. It's from this American Artist magazine. I used to get this one, but this one I got from the. It was donated to the library, and if you bought a book from the library, they'd give you a magazine. So I bought a couple of books. I bought a few books for my granddaughter, and then I got some of the art magazines. All right. Oh, here's this. I can mix here. See, there's some water. I have a little bit of water here, and then a little bit of color. I'll do it in the blues. See, I can just put it in this palette right there. And the biggest thing with watercolors is using water. My students would try to sometimes paint. I'd had some of them paint really thick watercolors, like if it was paint, like pink paint, not watercolor paint. Watercolors is, I mean, you can do so much. You can actually with a whole set of watercolors last a long time. Because look at this. I mean, let me see. Let's add more water on this side. Here we go. And you can watch. See, that's even dark. You can, and then slowly build up these shapes. There's a shape there, comes down here, and I didn't draw it out. I'm just doing it just to show you this watercolor, how far you can take the watercolor, lighten it up, and get these shapes. See that shape right there? This shape here, more water, and different values. You can build up your values. That shoulder there, the shoulder here. Get some more water. Actually, I can do straight water if I wanted. Yeah, but see, there's still color in my brush. See, now it's a lighter color. See, this is lighter color. And I can shade with this watercolor here and there. That's what I like. I love watercolor, building it up. And it's faster than shading with a pencil. People say, wow. I don't know. There's so many. The biggest thing I always hear about watercolors is, oh, it's unforgiving. Yeah, it's kind of unforgiving. If you make a mistake, you can't really erase. Thing is to build up. That's one thing you can do, is build up your drawings. Start really light and then slowly, go darker and darker. That really helps. All right, you can see me kind of going darker and darker. If I zoom in, you can probably get better color. Yeah, see the color better. Yeah, I see the two different shades, and it's the same blue. It's the same blue, just one has more water. There's more watercolors. If I need to get it lighter, I'm putting it on my palette here. Just adding more water to make it lighter. Go really light. I mean, one of these watercolor sets should last you a long time. If you, yeah. See, I'm gonna go really light right in there. All the shadow area under the eyebrows. And I'm going light. If I want to go darker, I can go darker. I can go with layers like here, you see this is too light right there. I just went darker. But I can go yeah, this whole side of the cheek right here. Seeing these shapes, these shadow shapes, really helps make your drawing more realistic as well. Seeing these shapes, this is really well lit. And if I want to go darker, I can put another layer of blue, wait for it to dry, or even right now, I can actually watch this. You'll see a little bit of running. This is darker. See, look at that. And it really softens up. See that right happen right there. And go back to that, and I can, this has more water. I can blend it out into, and it's going from dark to light as it comes down here. So that's a dark spot right in there. And this is hair part is going to be actually even darker right in there. See, all this is just values, lights and darks. Lights and darks. Let's see. These lips, they are, there's a shape. You've got the two little points, and then it comes down. I'm trying to get that shape, and then add a little twirl at the end. Might have to go darker. I'm just going to let that lay there and dry a little bit in the bottom part. The bottom lip. Let's get that cheekbone. Where the pencil is. A little bit of a chin. There's more chin shape. I'm going to add a little more chin shape. Bring it down. Yeah, it's all making all these adjustments. You got to make all these adjustments every time you're looking and drawing. Oh, I didn't put it out there. Let me put it in the, oh, look at that watercolor. Oh, Jane, that's awesome. Let me put.
Thanks a lot, Yo. that was my final project for this last semester of art school.
Wow.
Um, I'm really proud of it. It was, I'm sure you know what it is, the title and the artist, right?
I want to say not Brunelleschi, but
Doer,
Doer, yeah.
the copper wire mill. And I did over 5 weeks. I painted like 2 hours a night after work. And
Uh-huh.
so we had to do like, we had to turn it in like segments. I sketched it out first and
Uh-huh.
then brought in the watercolors like bit by bit. And it was so fun to do. I hadn't done a watercolor like this in a few years.
Wow. Your sense of space is really good. Your textures look really good.
Thank you.
Portions. Awesome. Very nice. Uh, Kelly says, awesome.
I think the hardest part was getting the houses all to be small enough so they all fit, and then to have the different heights, and then the roofs to look like a little bit different from each other.
Yeah, it's that scale. Scale is always one of the challenges, you know.
That was the biggest challenge, and I had to make sure I got that down while I was sketching it out first. And even then, I was still a little bit off, and I did adjust it.
Yeah, no, it comes with
Yeah,
practice.
yeah,
You realize the dragon, okay, that's the that's the scale dragon. And then you
right,
next time you slay that dragon, it's just, it's not like here values and
yeah,
scale is one of them, that some art uh elements include scale. And I talk about,
yes.
yeah, and relationships. But
And he did that when he was only 18.
wow.
It's just amazing. Like just kind of because I saw how hard that was to do, and you're thinking 18-year-old. But I know back in 50, he painted in 1589,
Yeah.
so the world was quite different back then.
Oh yeah, no internet.
Right, all this time just sit there and paint.
Yeah, that was their see that's it's that power of practice, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And I'm sure he had probably someone get guiding.
we actually had to do a research paper. It was for an art history class, and so we had to do like a 6-page research paper. And he did 2 apprenticeships before he even painted that. Like
Wow.
one with his dad is a silversmith, and then he had a 4-year painting apprenticeship where at the end of that he did that painting.
Wow.
So you could see how he was guided, and then he would doing the research, he would like paint backgrounds. He learned how to mix paints. I think back then they made their own
Oh yeah.
paintbrushes.
Yeah, they
And
did.
so our job was to make it as accurate as we could using the materials, like recreating the materials as close as we could.
Cool.
So I used mostly round brushes because I looked back at that time, that's what they were mainly using. So that made it hard because I couldn't use the flat brushes like for the green parts.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so here goes darker. And I'm waiting. Oh, I just rubbed it the wrong way. The pencil kind of rubbed out. But I'm going to, since it is dry, I was checking to see that it was dry. And now I can go a little bit darker, so I'm getting a little bit more with this blue. I'm just using this blue. I'm not using any other color, but it's more pigment now, and I can actually go darker on top of it. But I got to make sure it's dry below. Um, if not, it'll bleed. It'll run, and you don't want a runner. So I'm trying to get all this detail now. That there's the inside part of the eye. Oops. Yeah, I think I'm. And then there's the outside, the eyelid. There's a little bit of an eyelid, but I just messed it up. Ah, see, that's why it's not forgiving. Yeah, some of the stuff's just gonna okay, just do the best you can and say, okay, that was it. Yeah, and then on this side, there's the bring up the eyebrow a little bit. I see it's a different value. And I can actually, I'm going really dark with this right in here, right in here. And I can actually from that just go with water and it looks like it's bleeding a little bit. Let me see where else it needs dark. It's a little bit lighter around the nose. I'm gonna get that nose. There it is. The way it comes down, bottom part of that nose. Let's get that other eye. I think it was still wet on this side. Just check. There it is. And then this one's a little bit lighter. It's not as dark as that one. I'm going on the inside. I can actually even pick some of this stuff up on my brush because I know what's on my brush. My brush is pretty light. See, now it's a little darker because I picked this up over here from here on this side, and I can move it to this side and get that eyelid. Try to get that eyelid in there. I just lost it a little bit. That's okay. This should be darker right in there. And then the bottom part of the eye. Soften it up. I'm gonna get some of this dark here and then outline this a little bit more. Yeah, see, I just outlined that. Look at that. Bam. That outline that part. I can. What I'd like to do actually is make this part a little bit darker. That's probably too dark, but see that line? I can lighten it up. I can go. It is forgiving a little bit. I can just get some water, mostly water, and then just soften that up, that edge right in here. See, bringing it over, making it an edge. See, I just made that nose an edge. And I'm looking at the value. See, it's lighter than that. And I can pull some of this and soften it. See, there it is. I can just by going on top of it. There it is. And then bring some little more shadow right there. That makes that eyelid pop a little bit. Just going a little bit darker. You get some of that darkness up here too. Yeah, I'm really concerned about the eyes. Once I get the eyes, then yeah, everything else I can just I can rest. I can rest easy. Like whew. So this is darker. Maybe a little bit darker where the eyelid is. Bring that down. That nose, that bridge, I had to pull it out and there it's there now. And lost a little bit. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. And then back here gets darker again. See, this is getting darker. So I'm slowly building up these darks. There's two light spots. This darker area and slowly build it up. It doesn't have to go right away. I know each little layer goes a little bit darker. See, that's a little bit darker in here. Adding another layer of blue. And in here, another little layer of blue. And I can blend it out. Blend it out. It went dark right there. Right in here, go darker. A little triangle. And if it goes too dark, I can go into my water. See, if that's too dark, I can go into my water. And then lighten it up. Let's see. Even dry it up first. And then lighten it up. See, I can still pick up some of this paint. Put it somewhere else. Pick it up. There we go. Move it around. And this gets a little darker on this side. I can. There it is. Inside of that ear. Yeah, that's it. I can soften this side up a little bit. See, right in there. See, I'm softening it up. I know what's in my brush. See, as I soften that up, I just lost the eyelid. It's hard to talk and draw paint. As I soften that eyelid, yeah, I just lost it. But it softened it. I can probably go darker in there again. I'll leave it. That's fine. I'll wait for it to dry. I'm gonna bring some of this dark. See, I can move that darkness around and still make some of this other part a little darker. There it goes. It's a little darker. There's another value. It's another value. And then up in here. Oh, there's fireworks already. I hear the fireworks. I'm gonna get a lot of water. And then just add a little bit of a tone. A little bit of a tone up in here. The hair, I think that this is hair. Just a little bit of a tone. I want to go straight white. A little bit of a tone. I gotta let that dry though. I don't want to get wet into wet in there. All right. See if I can soften this because I know my brush now has mostly water. I can soften some of these edges, like right in here. That I'm trying to soften that edge. That pencil shows up too much though. I need to go darker back in here, especially with this. This is really dark compared to everything else. I can still see pull up some of this dark area, move it to another spot, like in here. See that does. I can pick up some of this. See, and it lines it up and move it over. See, I just picked up some of this darkness. I lost a little bit of eyelid in there. Let's see if I can bring back the eyelid on this side a little bit and go darker. The eyelid. Let's see if I can pop that eyelid in there again. Went darker. Yeah. That's good. We need to bring some of that darkness out this way on this side. See, you want to build up your values. And start off light and then build it up. Let's see. And make sure it's soft here. This should be softer. Wow, who's having fireworks? Could be graduation ceremonies. I wonder if it's our school. Could be. Oh, yeah, it's dark outside already. 8:39. All right, well, this one was kind of instructed a little bit. If you drew it or shaded it, that's great. I'm working on, and this is how I would shade as well. I would slowly build up my layers. Like in here, I want all this to be shaded, so I can easily just shade it really quick. But I lost some of that. I'm gonna wait for it to dry before I put another layer on it. It's go dark. Is that? Yeah, these are dark spots. I just put those in there. So yeah, these lines need to go dark. So you have light and then dark. Right here, the hair. It's here. These dark shapes. There we go. Ooh, the background's still wet. Yeah, sometimes a hair dryer really works too. A hair dryer to dry your paint watercolors. Yeah, like that. See, that's too dark. Right in there, that neck. I'm gonna get the water and just while it's there, I can just blend it out. Get more water. Blend it out and even soak it up even with another brush. I can get another brush. Kind of, yeah, there's see, sponge it up. Lines it up. All right. Like that. Should put it next to the original. Wish I could put it side by side. So I gotta figure that out. The inner ear. There's an inner ear in here. That's good. A little bit of a shade. Yeah, so I don't know these sessions. I'd like to just draw and paint and be really a little more free. If you want lessons, we can kind of do lessons, but I really just want to actually even do my own stuff. And if you want to hang out, just hang out and draw and paint and you do your own stuff. I can be quiet. Or if you have a question, struggling, it's really about the struggle and trying to figure out what to do next, what to go. There's this whole textile clothing. I would want to say toga, robe or something. These shapes. All freehand, which is a challenge. But feel free to use grids if you need to use a grid. There's nothing, I learned using grids as well. You got to practice both. I think grid drawings have its, everything has its pluses and minuses. There's pros and cons to everything. You got to use everything and say, oh, okay, this is going to work best in this situation, not work good in this situation. And you only know that by making those mistakes. It's like, and sometimes it can be frustrating. I know for a fact. Ready. All right, let's go darker. See how dark that is right there? That line. One darker. And go darker. And spread this a little bit around in here. I think I'm kind of happy with this. I'm looking at it as a finished piece now. I might, let me see, add some more. There's more folds on this side. Santa Ana had their art walk this weekend. Pomona is having their art walk this weekend. So Santa Ana had their art walk last weekend. Should I be a little clearer there? Last weekend it's on Santa Ana. Pomona's art walk is this weekend, Saturday. Pomona. Like my brother would say growing up, he said Ponoma. And again, we all make mistakes. It's just that they stand out. That's the problem. And especially if we have a fresh eye, you don't see it if you're like in it sometimes. It's like, and other people see your mistakes, and it's a little embarrassing, but you learn, and you just got to take it with a grain of salt and stiff upper lip and keep it going. It's like, oh, I didn't see that. That's good. I feel like, you know what? I'm going to put in a wash of a different color in the background. The opposite of blue is orange. Not opposite, but it's on the opposite side. It's the complement of blue. So let me put a little light orange. I'm going to put a light orange in the background just to make it pop a little bit. A really light orange. Like in here, right in there. See, right in there. Just make it pop. Really light orange. All right, somebody says thanks for the class. Have a good rest of the you, everyone. All right, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. And we'll see you next month. Yeah, we'll go next month. I really I need a break. I need a break from a break. Yeah, and I had a lot of stuff going on in my life. So I had to take a break. They were seeing really mix that, even just this really light orange in here, just makes that face pop. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see, zoom in. You can barely see it. So really, yeah, you can see there, you can see that. So these really light shades and light subtle things, and you slowly build it up. Am I happy? Am I happy with it? What is happiness? All right, that's it. I want to do this other one. Let's put this into the side. Still leaving dry. See what? Watercolor paper. I wanted to do one of these landscapes. This is a really good magazine. Artist. I had the Artist magazine, and then this one, American Artist. I had subscriptions to these growing up. Let's see this, the composition, the textures, the colors. I don't think that painting out in the open. This one has a section on yeah, children portraits. Yeah, that's it right there, children portraits. Then it had mostly landscapes. Let's get something. I'm going to do a landscape and then call it a night. Probably do alla prima. No, that's oil. Alla prima is on the first. The other one is what is it called? Plein air. That's what it is. This when you're out in the open. Plein air. These landscapes. Very nice. Look at it. The lights and the darks. The clouds. See, is that this one? Like this one. Sketch it out and process. All right, let's do this. Ah, here she is. Oh, you got it. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I really like that sketch. That's cool. Yeah, wow, your spacing looks really good. Yeah, it looks really good. Here, let me share it. All right. It's awesome. Yeah. One thing I would is watch is the angles on it. Really notice, let me see. Because it's really, really good. I can draw on it. Let me see, annotate it. There we go. Let me see, where's the original? Put it over here. I'll just show you some of the angular things that it has that I liked. There we go. Yeah, oh, now you're getting it. Yeah, I see it. Oh, okay, just a little bit on the angle right there, just slightly. It's not even a big deal. There it is. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a straight line. Can't even draw a straight line. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this one in here, probably that line. Let's go with another color. I don't like red. Let's go with blue, black, brown. And you're like, no. My drawing teacher did that once, but he did it on my book. Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, just to get the that turning on the back. And that just comes with practice. Yeah, really understanding that it looks really good. It looks really good. I'm just the only thing is just getting it to turn a little bit as it's turning around right in there. Getting that form. And that's a tough thing to do. This one as this kind of turns around on that. This looks really good. And then these angles right in there, it comes in, out. Here, right. Yeah, this is good. No, really good, really good. Your proportions look amazing. Yeah, I can see that. Awesome. I'm looking back and forth. I'm giving it a critical eye. Maybe this foot a little bit higher. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, a good thing to do is to watch the back of the heels and see that angle from the back of the heels. And that'll bring this foot maybe even a little bit more forward. But yeah, just that. That's really slight. It's nothing. That looks really good. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, good. Keep it up. Thank you for sharing and letting me draw all over it. All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, the photo skewed too. Yeah, that'll do it. It's all good. All right, let me see. Ooh, what I wanted to do. I'm just gonna do this one. Is it this one? So indecisive tonight. Yeah, this one has some really nice stuff. I'm not sure which one. I'm gonna go with it. Is this the cover one? Yeah, it is. It looks different here. See, the colors look a little more because the cover is shinier. They look richer on the front. I'm gonna just do a quick one of this thing here, just really quick. All right, so do it really quick. I'm gonna start off with yellow. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of yellow, just yellow. Really light yellow. Really light yellow. I'm gonna put a little bit of orange, a touch of orange, but mostly yellow. Too much orange. Yeah, you want to start off with the lighter colors first when you're mixing, because you just need a little bit of any other color to change it. All right, we got here. All right, so I'm gonna do my skyline. Here's yellow, see, but I can add a little more water to lighten it up because it's too yellow. It's really light yellow all the way across. I'm not even worried about it too much because the mountains are purple, green, gray. And just all the way across. There we go. See, it lightened up. It's a little grayer. So I can add a little bit of a brown to it. That's all right. Keep it at that. It's really light. A little more intense. Now I gotta wait for that to dry. I know I'm gonna do those mountains. Then I'm gonna sketch stuff in really lightly. A little bit of blue, touch of blue. Because I know I'm gonna do the whole tree right in here. It's gonna be round. Let's see. This whole tree right in here is gonna be round. And I'm being really careful because once you go dark, in watercolors, you can't really erase. There's that big tree. There's a big round tree, and then like a little spiky tree. I'm just blocking in to see where everything's gonna go. A little more blue. A little more yellow. There's that tree, and then there's another tree right in here. Then there's a road with really light. That's more trees down here, more trees. This green area. There's this green area. Then there's a house. And more green area down here. That's it. I'm finished. No. So now I'm gonna wait for that still to dry. Actually, I'm gonna focus on this house. I can focus on this house and then put in the yeah, while this is drying, I can focus on that house. And it has detail enough, so that will keep me busy for a little bit. And it needs to be light. It's really important that the rooftop, here, see this house right in here, the rooftop is really light. So value-wise, I'm gonna try to get that light and then the darker background. But it's not dark. It's a little bit of a gray green, and the greens down here are more intense. See, down here they're muted, and then up here that gets brighter, a little more intense. So let's start with that little house. I can draw it out with pencil, but let's see. Let's use a little bit of green and orange. The green and orange. The orange will kill the green a little bit, make it more brown. Oh, the color wheel. Oh, I can actually even add more yellow for that house. So I've got my tree here. I'm gonna have these trees here. The house is gonna be right about here. Because it's, oh, it was wet. It's a point of view. It's a just like Liana had her, it's a point of interest, what is it called? My brain's giving up. It's the point, it's the main point. It's the let's go look at the elements, the principles of art. Principles of art. Principles, it's one of the principles.
Are you looking for focal point?
Yeah, it's the focal point, and there's yeah, it's the focal point, but then there's another name for it. Principle. It's the let's see. This one says 10 principles. It's like the focal point, emphasis, that's it. The emphasis. The emphasis. The emphasis also, there's another name for it too. Focal point, emphasis, the point of interest. Let's see what other names we can make up for it. But yeah, it's where it's like the primary and then everything's secondary. Oh, it doesn't say here. Huh. Oh, it's just a website with a lot of more. There we go. Contrast, emphasis. It's emphasis. Yeah, it's what you want to emphasize, or it's the focal point of the painting. Everything else kind of supports that piece in that part. All right, so I'm gonna try to keep the rooftop light. Ah, there we go. That's it. That's what I want. It's dry. So it's this rectangle, and there's a slight angle to it. The tops and the bottom is horizontal. And I might be going a little dark, but that's okay. I can lighten it up. There we go. There's a slight slant on the sides. Yeah. The top and the bottom are horizontal. The sides are slightly slanted. There we go. It's a resting point for your eye, focal point, but it's the main emphasis. It's like it's a only thing that's out of all this stuff is it's the only thing that is geometric. Everything else is nature. This is man-made, well, except for the road and the lining of the vineyards or whatever they are. All right. There's windows, but I'm not gonna do the windows just yet. I'm gonna color it first. All right. I like that right there. I'm gonna get a little more green. A little more green in that brown. There we go. Just a little bit darker on that side. These are shrubs. That's good. Just get that how dark I want it in there. And then there's another shrub over here that's kind of dark. And then you have this tree. This one right here. I didn't totally do it. I kind of just put it in because it has all these shapes that kind of come around it. And that's what I'm kind of doing here. I usually go from foreground to background to foreground. So I'm just kind of blocking this in and just kind of seeing where that's going to be. There's a lot of stuff that's going to go around there. So let me get a bigger brush. I think my sky is dry. Yes, my sky is dry. So now that my light yellow sky is dry, I'm going to put in the mountains and then bring it and then start going from background to foreground. So and I've got my house there. I still want to color it and put the windows in, but I have to wait for the building to dry before I can. See, that's the whole thing. You got to be aware of what's wet, what's not, what's on your brush. And let's see, I'm going to mix a little bit of green. I already have this brown, has some orange in it. This one here. Now that just totally annihilated that. So I'm going to need a little more orange to brown it out. And a little bit of blue. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in it. A little touch of blue for the atmospheric dissonance. Slight little bit of blue. Now I'm going to actually probably get this paper here and the back and test it. I don't want it to go too dark. So I'm going to need more water. Adding more water. There we go. Let's see. A little more water. There we go. Make sure you have enough too. We're going to need quite a bit of this. So. All right, let's test it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. That's good. I like it. That's good. All right. See, that's lighter. See, value is more important than color. I got the color kind of right, but the value is lighter. Because even if you get the color wrong, what's more important is the value. Ooh, I've got this other hill way back there. That's like a light purplish, red, pink. Oh yeah, back here. So there's another row from background to foreground. We got to get those mountains in. So let's get those. That's lighter and a little more on the red purple side. So get over here. Get a little bit of actually, I'm gonna get that brown again, that orange. I'm gonna start off with the orange, slightly a little bit orange. It's a bit of water. You can see it right here. But then I'm gonna just add a little bit of purple to it. A little bit of purple. A little bit of purple. There it is. That's purple. That purple and orange will do it. Because it's if you're looking at this mountain, you can see that shade. Let's see what it looks like right there. See, that's way too dark. So you just need to add more water, but I'm getting there. Yeah, just have a little bit anyways. We don't need a lot. And I can actually lighten this up. Watch on this side. I like my green already. All right, clean the brush. I can look at that right there. Look at that right there. See, that's that color. It's a little bit darker than the magazine, but it's almost there. Oh, right there. That's it right there. See, that's a little bit lighter. Yeah, right there. Look at that. That's pretty close. All right, so let's get that mountain range back here. So there's this mountain range back here. There's like basically 3 hills. If I go too dark, I can always get more water onto it. So, or if I go too light, like that's, we'll see, we can go darker. So I've got this hill and then this other hill. It's really light. You can barely see it. I'm gonna do them and then I can always go darker. Another little hill further back. Uh-oh. Skeeter time. Time to close the window. Warm day today. Warmed up. All right, let's see. Kind of got my 3 mountains here. Got this little one here and then those there. I can start adding a little more purple to it. This one's a little bit darker. Watch it run. Bam. Look at that. Now I can have a little bit of control over it. I get a dry brush. I will clean brush, clean it, dry it. Then I can blend it out, spread it out if I went too dark. Or if I'm lightening it up too much, I can go back in here, darken it up again. Bring some of that over here. Another, I see that's another layer. That's good. And it'll try a little bit darker as well. It's really light. I could have gone, see this one, that one, or that one. That's somewhere in between. It's probably closer to this one. I can see this little mountain tops, these little tips. This one's a little bit darker. I can give it a little more of a point and a little bit darker. I think a little bit darker on this one side, right there. See right there. Darken it up just slightly. It's these really gradual. It looks dark right now. I'm gonna lighten it up and blend it. Cleaning my brush. I want it darker on one side. Drying my brush. And now with a dry brush, I can go in here. It'll soak some of the darkness up and blend it out. And blend it out. There we go. It's a little bit darker on one side, the left side. And then I'm just patting it to make it soft blend from left to right. Now, let me see. Oh, this actually connects. There's this mountain range that connects. There we go. Just need to connect. Paper towel. Soften this up. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Blend it out. There we go. That's the mountain range. Didn't even notice that it's all, now I need to let that dry. All right, so while that's drying, I can move a little more forward. Well, actually, you know what would be good to get the house now. I'm gonna leave that alone, let that dry. We'll go back to the house. I'm gonna get like a light orange, a little bit of brown. So I already have that brown here, that purple. It's a little bit of orange, maybe yellow too. A little more on the yellow side. Yeah, there we go. Some yellow. Maybe just the yellow and purple. Yeah, there it is. The yellow and purple turns brown. A little bit of orange. Trying to get the right mix. A little bit of orange. Let's see what it looks like over here. Test it out. It's really yellow. Want it a little more orange. A little more orange. That's too much. Don't fall in there. I'm drawing my brush out on the side here, trying to get all that. Yeah, because yellow is not that strong. A little bit of orange will annihilate it. Not that much. Don't go in there yet. Take some of it out. Trying to pull it out. There it is. That's good. Let me get some of the yellow I have on my paper over here. Bring it back. And there we go. That's it right there. Bam.
Is your camera showing what you want it to show?
I don't know. Let me see. Oh, no, yeah, it's spotlighting. I think so. With my head.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. It doesn't look like anything. Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this house right in there. Yeah. It's all this stuff is like really delicate right now. Yeah, there it is. Once I mass in these hills, it'll really make sense. But I was just trying to get this color. See that color? That's the color I wanted. Now I gotta let that dry before I put the windows in. I gotta let that dry before I put the windows in. I can actually put in the roof. No, I'm not gonna put in the roof because I'm afraid it'll run into my. I gotta let that dry. If I had a hair dryer, dry it up right there. Now I'm gonna get that orange and that yellow. It's that same color, but I'm a little bit more yellow. And actually, probably the color of this paper. Actually, this paper's on off-white because that looks like it's probably really close to what this ground is. I'm thinking of the ground, the ground of these paths. Really like that path, the way it's really lit up right in there, and then you can see the darkness. So I'm aiming for these light parts first, and then the darker parts. You can see down here, well, if we move this address label, it's a little more intense. It's not, it's the light area. There we go. Ah, better. Well, it's not showing up. It's showing up green. It is a little more on the brown side. And then that's dark. All right. So I'm gonna aim for the lights. Then it's just a slight, it's really light. So it's the orange that I had for the house, plus a little more yellow and a lot more water and more water. More water. Really keep it really light. So I'm slowly building it up. See, this is a lot more yellow, but that's good though. It's that same orange. See, that's the one I used for the house. I just need to add more water to it to lighten it up. It really needs a lot of water. I can actually even start with mostly water, actually. I can start with water and then just add the color in there afterwards. See, so this is all just mostly water. Here's my path. And there's the path that's under that highlights the house, which is the focal point. And then the emphasis. And then the path over here, I'm adding water down here under the path under this tree. And it's just water. Now I can get this straight yellow from right here. It's really strong. And then add it in here, just slightly, a little bit of color. See right in there. Slight little bit of color, that yellow. And then over here too. That's gonna be the lightest part, the little yellow orange. It's the lightest part of that. Actually, it's dark. That's really darker. It's too yellow too. Should be a little bit on the pink side, a little more orange. A little more orange. I can bring that down. But it's good that it's lighter up there. As it gets lower, it gets a little more intense, a little closer, a little darker down here. And it looks like nothing. Looks like I did nothing, but we're gonna leave it at that. I just got to keep my green away from it. So now I know that the house is drying, which is really close to drying, and I think my mountains are dry. So I'm gonna do the mountains back here. I'm gonna do this mountains back here. So I have got the far about light mountains back there. Now I'm gonna mix a green that's kind of really close to this, if not this. This is actually really good. This is gonna go darker. These trees are gonna go darker, but I just had this as a holding place to kind of see my composition and where I'm gonna have everything. And so here we go. Let's go with the green and mix my color. I can mix it right on that orange and yellow. Mix a little more orange in there. The orange makes it browner. It's almost a complement. The complement of green is red, but since yellow is not so strong, I like mixing orange and green because they both have yellow. That's a nice mix, and I like orange and green as they are connected by yellow. There we go. That's it. So I like that. It looks really dark here. I can test it out over here. It's going to look like this one. Should look like that. Although this gray, oh, I had it already. Oh, I used it up somewhere or dried out. Yeah, this one's a little browner. I like that green though. This one's a little closer to what it should look like. But it is darker. I can add a little more water to it. See, this is a different shade. Yeah, oh, I like the way that looks. The colors there. I like my scratch paper better than the. All right, let me see. So I've got this brown here. I can add a little more green to it. See, there's this green right here, a little bit more green. These little adjustments, and then add more water to it. Or I can actually just leave it alone and add the water to this whole piece, and then add the color on top of it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I know I have that color in the brush, and then I dipped my brush into water. So it's got a little bit of a mix of both. So here's the first hill. And I'm liking the color. And it's really light. It comes down. And then there's another hill. There's two hills. I'm going to bring this hill up. This is the first hill. Second hill. And the second hill cuts into our purple. And into our other hill back here. And it's slightly darker. See, I can see it's getting darker. I'm controlling the darker by if I let it sit, I can see it's dark right there. I don't want it to sit. I'm spreading it out. Spreading it out. There's little trees in there. I'm not worried about those. That little detail. I'm just kind of getting this first coat. And this could be a first coat. And maybe some texture. Ooh, I like that texture. The texture of the paper. See that texture? Just kind of let it, just kind of scumble it. Bring this color down. I can bring some, probably even a little bit darker. Some of that same green. See, I want that roof to pop. So I'm coloring around it. There we go. That's it. Oops. Don't bring it too far down. A little bit of bleeding. That's all right. Okay. Now you can see how some of it's getting darker. I can use that same darkness. It's the same color. And I can put it in some areas because there's overlapping right here between those two mountains. I can shade this a little bit darker right there, or wait for it to dry. I can control some stuff. I mean, I can add some textures. Look at that. Some soft textures. I know this is dark in here. Look at that. And it diffuses really nicely. So it really, because it's so far away too, it works really good as out of focus when it blends in to that. Yeah, there we go. Into that water. It's all wet back here. But as I touch and tap it, it kind of gives it a texture, and it also diffuses as it's blending into the water. I can put more water on top of it too to diffuse it more if I need to as I'm working on this area. Yeah, because there's a lot of texture, and there's actually Oh, look at that, Zoe. That's awesome. Yeah, the next one will be better. Yeah. You know, that's the whole thing. They asked an artist, which is your best drawing? My next one. Here's Zoe's. This is cool. Really solid. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, good job. Awesome. I like that you dated it too. Good job. It's hard giving feedback. Sometimes people don't know how to, or some people don't know how to give it, and some people don't know how to receive it, and it's a whole complex thing. And you want to be respectful. You want to, and sometimes it doesn't sink in. Sometimes it's yeah. But it's all good. What's important is the practice. All right. See, I really like that texture that's coming out. See, it's thicker as it comes down here, and it's lighter as it's back here. See, I'm just working that texture in there. And then I know there's as it comes back up here. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 9:20 already. Time flies. See, yeah, I need to darken here. Yeah, see. Separate that. Blend it. So that's dark. Now I can blend it with a clean brush and blend the outside of this side. One dark, and then this top part I can blend it, see, with a clean wet brush. Because I wanted to show the two different mountain ranges. Let's see, I can actually lighten it out. I can use a napkin. I have them right here. And there we go. Get a napkin and soak it up. Yeah, see, soak it up, buttercup. And then change it, add a little bit of texture, however. But that's two mountain ranges, and a lot more little dots. A little more textures. There's another mountain range over here. This texture. Right, and then back here too, there's another little range. And back here's another darker color. See, that's the thing. Look at, see, oh, it's too dark. Yeah, well, you can go in there with a brush or a napkin, see, and lighten it up. So you do have control as you get to know it. But there's so many people complain, oh, you can't, once you make a mistake, yeah, well, you need to learn how to fix your mistakes. You need to learn how to problem solve, figure things out, know what you want, work towards it. There we go. No understanding, no lights, darks, value. See, it's all still wet right there. The texture, look at that texture. What's in there? There we go. All right, let's check my phone real quick and then work on that house. I like those, I like that. That's looking good. Let me see. Do I need to bring it down a little bit? I'm gonna bring it down. Yeah, that's good. But back mountains kind of done. There's more lines and stuff in there, but I'm keeping it simple. kiss. Keep it simple, student. All right. We got 6 of you hanging in there. That's awesome. And hopefully you can be doing your own thing. You don't have to be doing mine. All right. Okay, okay. Let's see. All right. Okie dokie, pokey. Okay, let's work on this house. I'm gonna put a little bit of red lines on it. Actually, a little red and brown on it. Just attach a red to the green actually I had here over here. Here's my palette. There's a little bit of green. I'm gonna add that red here first. See, it already turned brown, but it's a little more on the red side. That's that roof. I'm gonna add some stripes to it. Some slight stripes. Some roof tiling. Some little stripes. Little stripe lines. There we go. All right, that's it. And it's outlined, but I'm not gonna worry about it. It's okay. I can blend it out a little bit. That top line, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna blend it out to make it more of a rendering instead of a cartoon. I can blend this top part out with a wet, dry brush. See, look at that. It just gets rid of it. Bam. So that line is gone. I just got rid of that line, and I need to soften it up. So I'm softening it up. Let me zoom in so you can see the miracle that was. Not miracle, but I can probably put some more green, but it did take some of that brown out. But what's cool about it, it looks more like it's not outlined or cartoony so much anymore. And then I can blend it out. See, you can fix stuff, change stuff. Let's put the windows in. Let's go a little bit dark. Let's get that. I'm gonna get a brown again. And that green. I'm gonna get black. Oh, blue. Oh yeah, a little bit of blue. Make it darker. I don't want to use black. Oh, that's purple actually. I dipped it in the purple. That's okay. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do one square right here. Not quite a square. More like a triangle. That's okay. And then there you go. That's it. I like it. And actually, I like that dark color too. All right, before we go to the dark color, let's zoom out. All right. Okay, I'm gonna use that same green that I have. I'm gonna go a little more intense. Okay, so we have that gray green, but I'm gonna get this yellow. Let's start off with yellow first, because that's and just get this yellow here. And put it over here. Stay away from the purple. I don't want brown. So that yellow. It's just straight yellow. Yellow, and then a little bit of green. Actually, just really slight. Really slight. Yeah, just a little touch. Yeah, I really want it mostly a yellow green. A little bit of that brown green that I had over there. Oh, there we go. That's it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and we zoomed out as much as we can. There's this whole range right in there. Ooh, it's too dark, but I'm spreading it. It lightens up, and the hairs are falling out. Oh no, are those hairs? No, those aren't hairs. The hairs are falling out of this. Those are just sketches. I like that there. Oops. And then over here, I'm gonna mix more water. Because it is going a little too dark. And there we go. I like that lighter one. Yeah, so you got to know what you like. what you're aiming for. And when you don't know, that's makes it a little bit harder. But you'll make those mistakes and you say, oh, okay, won't do that again. That's what I want. There we go. All right, is that as far back as I can get? There we go. You can hear my granddaughter. And then this right in here. Here we go. That's it. Let's put more water. When in doubt, water it out. Yeah, because what happens is once you go dark, it's hard to get it to go light again. Yeah, let's see. So you want to slowly build up your lights, your darks, slowly build up your darks. See, I can actually go in here with it. See, look at that. I just lined it up with this paper towel, dabbing it a little bit, getting it lighter, adding texture. See, there we go. I like it. All right. Let's see. Once I put the darks in, it's going to really pop. It's going to really pop. But in the meantime, let's get some more orange. Let's get some more orange. So that's the whole thing with watercolors, waiting for it to dry, playing the drying game. Because I was thinking of doing a little bit of the streets, the paths with a little bit more orange. But then I'm afraid it's going to run into my green. That's what I'm afraid of. Bring some of this green down this way. There's a path right there. There we go. That's good. All right. I like that. Gotta let that dry. What can we do in the meantime? Oh, I was going to share. Let's share. Did I share that picture? Yeah, I did. Did I share? I think I did. Share Zoe's picture. Yeah, I did. Share it again. Awesome. Dun, 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 dun. And share Leanna's too. It's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's that dedication and practice and keeping at it. And having something to shoot for, you know. What are you shooting for? Having work that inspires you. What work inspires you? And you keep drawing and saying, okay, I want to draw like that. I want to paint like that. Having that bigger view, that bigger, you know, the dream. And that dream part. Dare to dream. And then just keep at it. And then step by step. Understanding the basics. Getting those fundamentals in of shape, color, value, texture. And then those are the controls. And then composition. Composition, how are you putting it all together? Those are the building blocks: line, shape, texture, color, form. Not in that order. I would say actually, I revised it. Where's my? Oh, here it is. I'm revising it. I haven't revised it yet, but in my mind I did. I'm revising the 7 and 7. Let me share that right now. 7 and 7. 7 elements, 7 principles. Let's see, here we go. Let's go to the drawing board. It's 9:30. Oh man, I shouldn't have. I don't know. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let's go to, there we go. Illustrator. There we go. 7 and 7. So here it is. 7 and 7. Wait. Come on. All right, so 7 elements, 7 principles. These are the elements here. I'm moving space from number 7 to number 1 because it's all space, really. And it's going to be a thin line like line because the line is everywhere, but it's really not, you know, what's more important is shape and form. Shape and form. Shape and form is really important. So space is everywhere. You kind of almost don't have to think about it too much because you're doing it, but just understand it a little bit. But it's everywhere. That's why it's the bottom line. And the line also, I mean, you can't help drawing without lines. But shape is learning to see and draw shape. You use lines and space, And then form is space as well, 3D space, right? So that's how it all fits now. But the important ones is shape and form. Then you go to value, then texture, then color. And color will be the last one. And after that, then you start using the principles to compose and think about, using unity, contrast, emphasis, pattern, rhythm, movement, balance. And that, having that good foundation will take you to all this other stuff. If you want to do abstract, still lifes, architecture, all this stuff, this is the foundation for all that. Cartoons, any styles, any movements, all careers, everything. This is the foundation. 7 and 7. All right. The stronger your foundation, the taller your building. So, is this dry? Hey, it did dry. Long-winded. All right, I'm going to do this really quickly. It's a little bit of orange, a little bit to that yellow that I had. I don't know if this is it, a little bit more orange. I want my path. There it is, that's it, a little more orange. My little path to show up a little bit more. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, let's see, I tested it. They have a little test paper. I like that. And then my path goes down here. That's the highlight. And this is a dark, kind of little dark road. That path. There's a little bit more green that should be there than this. And then it comes down here. And I'm going to kind of just do kind of like texture. It's hard to tell by the color. I got to get a better camera. And that's good there. And that's good. I'll just slightly dry brush it. Just texture and color. And value. All this, ooh, goes in there too. All there, in there. So there's that. Now, I'm going to get a color a little bit darker. And orange. So I'm going to get that green and a little bit more orange. And this is for shadows. We have that tone. Let me see, I'm testing it. That's more of a darker brown. Actually, I want it more like a blue. A little bit more blue in it, not so brown. A little more blue, and I don't want it to turn green. Oh, you know what? It's purple. Yeah, there's a little bit of it's like a yellow and purple. Get away from the browns. Yeah, it's too much orange. Yeah, a little bit of purple, a little more yellow. Yeah. There we go. That's it. That's what I want. Purple and yellow. Yeah, a little more on that side. All right. So then this is still part of that path. It just gets a little bit darker. Right in there. Right in there. Right up in here. And then another little path. This is right in there. That's good. It's hard to see. These aren't definite shapes, which makes it harder if you're copying me or trying to see what I'm doing. There's not really definite. There's like a dark area of this whole part of the. Oh, I should have screenshotted this. This whole area in here is really dark and light, and that's what I'm trying to capture with this. Yeah. And the brush is giving me a little bit of a dry brush. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the greens. A little bit darker now. A little bit more there. A little more brown. And then here, it's all dark right in here, but let's see how dark that is. Yeah, see. There's these are the stripes of the this part right there. And they kind of go up in here. They get lighter as they go back over here. This field. What's cool, this brush has a texture to it. So it's important to know what's on your brush. As it gets back here, I want it lighter. Smaller maybe. And I can go in there and with my palm, see, lighten it up. It's on my hand now a little bit. Lighten it up. Here, darken it up. as it comes over here, darken it up. A little bit of texture. There we go. I'm starting to get some of these darks. As well as around in here, some of the darks. Just texture. Right along the road. Dark green. I hate when I run out of paint. Like, oh man, this paint, this color is really good. Now I got to mix some more of it. I got to mix a whole bunch. Where's my water? I had to put it to the sun and make it brown again. Yeah, see, this green is too bright. I can add a little bit of red to it, or brown. No, I like mixing it straight. See, I mixed it here, and here's that green. And that red. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and let's go dark. Let's actually go dark. And we'll mix that blue and green and red. Blue, green, and red. Just a little bit of red. Blue, green, and red. Let's get some more green. Oh yeah, there it is. It's going to be this dark green. See? Yeah, see, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and just do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these trees in, these dark trees, all these dark trees up in here. So there's light areas in there. There's light areas. I will try to keep the light areas. I can easily, go in with a napkin again to lighten it up. I'm just going to go ahead and I want to finish this. And I'm trying to just get the feel of it. I don't know if it's probably an oil painting. And I'm doing a watercolor rendition of it. There we go. And there's actually, it's not as dark, but there's some of that path. There we go. And then the tree is darker. There we go. That's all right. I'm trying to keep it open. Because it's not a blob. I mean, I see the form, but then it has like the baby shapes. I see the mama shape, the papa shape actually, and the baby shape and the small shapes, all the detail together. Oh yeah, we're gonna run out of paint. Here's a big ball right in here. Oops, too high. Right in here, there's a ball. See that's nice right there. That's a lighter green. And then I know if I put more darker green in there, it'll get darker. But this light green works really well. I mean, it's a dark green, but I can see I'm building it up. And then there's these two like things that are sticking up right in here. Let's use a different brush. Blue, green, and a little bit of red. Too much red. More green. All right, and this goes up. Right about there. There's one. There's two. And it has a light side to it, but I'm not worried about that. I know I can go in there with see, I can get, this is by dark now. I can put this texture everywhere. I love this brush has a nice texture to it. It has some openings to it, and I can use that actually grabbing some of that darkness, bringing it over to other places and adding that texture, the lights and the darks. See, I can that even lightened up this dark tree up here. Then try to get some, oh, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. It's getting, oh, the detail in there. Oh, see, this is where it gets exciting. It's like, oh my God, the brush is doing the brush is doing the work. See, look at all these little leaves. Yeah, It's like, oh, magic. Yeah, when you have the right brush, it's like, oh, this is the brush. And then when it's gone, it's like, oh man, time for a new brush. And then all of a sudden you find another one that replaces it, and it's like, oh, I like that brush. Giving me the little texture, the little dots. Look at that. It looks so good on the camera too. It's like, oh my gosh. You know, the little texture, you know, this little detail. See, it's coming together. Alan was worried. She's like, what is that coming to? Yeah, there's a lot more. This actually, I would have to cut it, but I'm gonna continue it, and make my own trees, and change the composition a little bit. See, that's more green. This one has some red in it, which killed that intensity here. This is a little more intense, but it's all right. I'm extending this. So, because this format is vertical and mine is horizontal. And I can use this darker color. See this darker color over here now. I'm gonna have to close this up or bring this tree up a little darker. See that path? I went darker on top for the tree. And then there's another path down here. Actually, let's paint the trunk of that tree. That's really important. Got to do the trunk. Right. Get some of that color up there. Branch. There it is. That's too brown. Let's get some more green and some red to kill some of that green. Let's get some water. Yeah, it's all this mixing. It's like I feel like a scientist. Ooh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bubble, bubble, toil in trouble. Yeah, it is chemistry, kind of. Like, okay, a little more this, a little more that. And then here, some dark path. Kind of, let's line it up. My other brush. So dark. Then over here on this side, there's little, it'll be better with this one. Oof. All right, no, this one first. Let's get the rows in here. I'm gonna get these rows. There's these rows that kind of go in here like this. There's these rows. Oh, if you can see them, I'm putting the rows in. The vineyard, whatever it is. There we go. And then the top part, there we go. I'm going to use this brush now. This top part is dark, but you can see little, there we go. Look at that. Bam. I'm going to straighten this out. And bring some of this darkness down too. All this is dark in here. See, I can blend it or lighten it or darken it. Definitely need to darken. There's a lot of dark. Even this I can probably wait for it to dry and give it another coat, to darken it, because that's probably a little too light in there. That needs to go darker in here too. See, that's the thing, you know, it's easier to get it darker, but once it's dark, it's harder to get it light. It's not forgiven. See, now I can start putting all this dark in here. There's a nice big tree right in here. Then there's these other trees that echo this tree. Oh, are we zooming out? There we go. There's some more trees over here that are echoing those up there, but they're on this side. There's a cluster right up in here. Actually, that road should be smaller. But here we go. And it's darker. See, because I understand value, I'm going darker and they make it makes these stand out. This is probably a little wider. Yeah, it's just my watercolor version of this. But you can see it all of a sudden, bam, starting to come together. like bam, like, oh wow. You gotta just trust the process, see the parts, and then the whole, and then it just starts coming together. See these dark parts like on top. Being able to, it's like being able to see the parts, it's being able to see the matrix. You know, being able to see the if you've ever seen that movie. One of my favorites. All this needs to go darker in here. Let's see. Let's get some more darks in here. All this darker in here. Then I'd have to do what's that in there. And this is just a lot of work. Getting that tree in there too. There's this tree that's in here. Yeah, that's gonna take some work. And I'm running out of battery. It's already gonna be 10. Let me check that phone. That could have been my lady. But yeah, look at that. That's that. You can see the steps that I did for there. This is too light. That road's too light. So it is what it is. Lady. Nope. Oh. She's in the. Oh. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot more stuff. As I observe and try to get, the different layers here. Depending on left to right. Ooh, this dried already. Did it? I can darken that up. Not too shabby. I need to darken some of this up in here too, but I'm getting some really nice textures. That brush, oh, it's amazing. I'm gonna get a little bit of that orange still up in here. A little orange and that purple. I think that orange and purple. A little orange and then just a touch of purple, not that much. Where's that purple? Is that purple or blue? There we go. Lighten it up. I can put more water and slowly build it up. If you're unsure, add more water. Do it slowly. There's no rush. Nobody's rushing you, especially when you're learning. Let's see. Oh yeah, purple. Let's get a little bit of purple, and that's it. Water down a little bit more. This is dry. And yeah, I usually go from background to foreground, but yeah, there we go. See, that darkens that up, and that's a little bit more on the purple side. There we go. And all this is dark in here. This is, not all that dark. Oh, well. Yeah, because there's part of it where the light comes through here. This up here, that probably went too dark. This should be darker in here. Can't have light without dark. But you gotta watch out to not kill the light. That's good. That's good. Ooh, I really like some green in here. There's some really more, almost more intense green. So almost like straight green. I can mix it to my dirty green, but it's a little more green in here. See, that's more intense. Darker. A little more intense in here because it's closer too. So this is a little more intense green. And then there's a tree in here with all kinds of texture, but yeah, all this color is a little more intense. And what I mean by that is I didn't put as much red or blue or orange. That kills the intensity. And this color, because of the distance, the color does, you lose some of the intensity, but as it's closer, you want that intensity a little more. So you don't want those browns in there or it to be lighter. Yeah, there's a tree in here. It's gonna upset me. Patience. If you learn anything, patience and persistence. Patience. Take your time. Hurry up. Okay. So this is actually, there's a lot of yellow there. Let me see message first. This tree that's in there is trying to wrap my head around it. All right, here we go. I want more yellow in here. The light. Ooh, that's dark. I just tested it over here. It's dark. I want the light. I want the light. Into the light. Poltergeist. Let's get another brush. This is good. Into the light. Did you say stay out of the light? All right, see that yellow now. See, I'm just getting that yellow, darkening all this stuff up. A little touch, a little that green in there, a little bit of texture. Oh, more yellow. I'm just trying to get rid of the white, all that white that's in there. Too much white, too light. Too light. Let's get some more yellow. More water. That's good. All right, let's get some texture. There's some branches, and I don't know if I can. Oh, that's good. Little branches. That's good. Some branches. Branch divinity. Yeah. Bam. All right, coming along. Now, I think that's it. That's it. I just need to put some final darkness in there. Too dark right here. I'm gonna spread some of this darkness out and make it look like it's part of that. Spread it out a little bit. Rub-a-dub-dub. All right, that looks good. That looks good. Okay, so I'm just gonna get darkness in here. The darkness, the dark side. Green, blue, and red. Some red, 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 red. Red, red. Oh, it's too red. More green. Let's see what it looks like. Test it over here. Little test. Yeah, there it goes. A nice deep green. That's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. Money doesn't get everything, it's true. What it don't get, I can't use. Oh, it's dark. Dark goes last. All the light, once I'm kind of happy with it. Let's see this brush. Oh man, this just gives me some great texture. Texture just right on top. That's what I want. Love doesn't. I'm gonna have to mix some more of that magic dark color. I can make this tree bigger. See, that's the thing. You can make trees bigger. If you go too small, see, I can make this bigger. And just go with what I feel would make a better picture. Like here, I would probably, yeah, let's go darker. Gotta mix more. Going from left to right, left to right. All right, I think it's close to, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I shouldn't have taken that break. I guess I don't know, we'll play it by ear. We gotta experiment, explore. There we go. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, this is what, this part right here, this part, when I saw this painting, I was like, you know, certain things in a painting that like, there's no words for it. It's just, it's all just the way these two trees were kind of like touching and kind of like letting the light through. I mean, I'm not doing it any justice, but I do get the feel of it, you know, it's like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? All right, here we go. Yeah, see, this is kind of like, even if you didn't paint and just following along, that's great. I'm just gonna hang out. That's the thing. Then I don't worry about if anybody's doing it, not doing it. I'm here pleasing myself. Sounds terrible, but yeah, I gotta. This is it. Let me see. Here we go. Try to get some of this texture in these rows. Let me get that angle. There's a lot of detail in here that I'm just blowing over. Okay, this is all too light right in there. This is really all standing out too much. And I'm gonna get some, ooh, is it here? I think I already have some, but I just did this in here. I'm gonna see if I can darken it. Some orange and purple. Orange and purple. Let's see. Water it down. Maybe a little bit of green. Orange, purple, there we go. I just want to tone this down a little bit. Let's see. Maybe I can use a clean brush. So, see, let's rinse it out. I want to keep it light, but there we go. That's it right there. Blend it out. That's good. Lighten it up right there. There we go. There. Let's see. What else do I need to do? Look, I'm looking back and forth, and see what I need to lighten, darken, a little more texture in here. Looking back and forth at my picture, the painting. See, all this is shadow. Should go darker in here. See, I get that from looking back and forth. And I ask myself, how is it the same? How is it different? I'm doing a compare contrast. How is it the same? How is it different? How can I make it more the same, or how can I make it more to what I want it to look like? I know I wanted to get all this a little bit darker. This is all like the shadow side of this. I like the texture, but I don't want it too much. A little more red. Red to kill the green. That's it. That'll dry. Bam. All right. Any questions? Anybody want to show theirs, or what they did or didn't do, or if you did something else? Huh? Oh,
Looks beautiful.
thank you.
I love all the different value contrasts.
Yeah. Yeah. Dun-dun-dun. Wait for it to dry, so gotta stretch it. And these are school watercolors. I mean, I've done some great stuff, some wild stuff, and it's because students, they always find they play the blame game. Oh, it's because I don't have this. It's because you don't know. That's it. That's the reason. Sometimes you have to, I don't know. You struggle with the materials to get it, and people don't want to struggle. They're like, oh, they blame the materials. And I sometimes I have fought with my materials. It's like, okay, I wanted to do this. Okay, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? You figure it out. Like here, I'm seeing this is too dark. Like around this. So I wanted to look more natural, so I would probably bring some of that. Oh yeah, I'm lightening it up. But as I lighten it up, I can move it around, lighten this up a little bit. See, look at that, lightened it up. And I moved it around. And it's those little tweaks. It's those little, oh, okay, I can change that. I can fix that. And then it's like, okay, I'm happy. That's good. Sign
For the
it.
water,
Is it?
for the
That's-
watercolor I showed you. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I would say I did like different kinds of washes, like kind of a drier wash, a medium wash, a wetter wash. And it was fun to tinker with all those and see like what worked for each section.
Right. Isn't that
That
exciting?
was fun. That was really fun. I like doing that with watercolors.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, every material has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
Gotta learn. Yeah.
I use a mixture of caked watercolor and tube watercolor, and I mix the two together. And then I noticed like the caked watercolor worked better for the greens and the yellows,
Yeah.
the
Nice.
earthy tones. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then when you get to know your materials, it's like, okay, I know exactly what I want, and I know exactly what to get me there. And
Exactly.
it's exciting. It's like, oh, because you know.
Yeah. And you know how much paint you'll need and how much ratio of like white to green to like mute the colors, or like a
Right.
yellow, how much to bring in. That's the fun part too.
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I say. Happiness comes from solving problems you want to solve. And
Right.
there's a joy. It's like, oh, yes. Yeah. The joy of painting. All right, good
Yeah.
night, everybody. Thank you for joining us and
Thanks a lot, Leo.
welcome. Good night.
Are we meeting one Wednesday every month? The first Wednesday every month?
I'm thinking the first Wednesday of the month until I get things a little more flowing. But I think
Okay.
first Wednesday of the month. That
All
sounds good.
right.
I think less of a gap. If anything, a half an hour at the most. I think that big hour gap I lost. I don't know if I lost some. Some people came back, a couple of people, but I think maybe a 15 to 30 minute gap just to stretch and to kind of like say, okay,
Yeah,
this class is over now. It's something different.
yeah. That sounds good. Yeah. Get a
Okay,
little break.
right. Sounds good. All right, everybody. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.